started to talk about anxiety being from the masculine part of the mind. I'm curious to hear more about that.
Anxiety. Anxiety is a great topic. Earlier we said that there's only two types of emotion. There's only love and fear. What is anxiety? Anxiety is the trickle of water that leads to the river of fear. Anxiety is some kind of a possibility, probability, permutation in your masculine mind, in the mind that thinks into the future. Something that you want happen and you're worried it's not going to happen, or something that you don't want happen and you're worried that it will. Did I say something twice? Anyway, I said it okay? You cannot have anxiety when you're fully present. It's an impossibility. It's impossible. That's why when somebody is having a panic attack, they tell him breathe. If you're focused on the breathing, you're present in the breathing. It's hard, but the second you're focused, you cannot have anxiety. Now, this is why autistics suffer from so much anxiety, because autism is a very high potentiation of consciousness that is actualized only in the masculine mind. The autistics, the masculine mind works very, very fast. And so it creates possibility, probability, permutation of things that will happen or will not happen. Today I sent a proposal for a book to 21 agents. And I had so much anxiety, and I noticed my anxiety. So, I'm going to send it to this one. This I have an Excel spreadsheet with all the agents and what every agent says, send me this proposal, that proposal. I can't send this proposal to this agent because this agent wants the proposals this way and I made the proposal that way. Remind myself of the idea of what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm only dipping my toes in the water. This doesn't matter. If all of them not answering me, it gave me information. This is the point. I'm only sending to 20. Why? Because I want to test the temperature of the water. But my mind, oh my God, and what's going to happen if nobody answers? And this and that. Anxiety. Anxiety is a thought, a possibility, probability. Now, the possibility, probability can either be abstract or concrete. I don't want so-and-so to come to my party because if they do, I get nervous, or I hate them, or whatever. Or I don't want, I have a toothache. I really hope it's not something serious because I don't have any money. I grew up in a household that was ridden with anxiety about money. We didn't have much. And so money was a real thing. And it's real in our day-to-day lives too. Okay? It's a lot of concrete anxiety. What is abstract anxiety? Abstract anxiety is possibility, probabilities about things that didn't even happen yet and are so abstract that they're not even related to reality, to the concrete. For example, what will happen if I'm going to fall out of love with my wife? It's so abstract that what will I do if it happens to me so much that I can't even give you examples. It'll come as I keep talking. So anxiety is thought. Now, what does Hebrew metaphysics tell us? That there's only anxiety. When anxiety bubbles up, it's fear. And so Hebrew metaphysics says, listen, the way we're going to do all the emotions is on a scale. Okay? Now there's two types of emotions, masculine and feminine. There's fire emotions and water emotions. Care to venture a guess which one's which? Watery emotions are feminine, fiery emotions are masculine. So all emotions that are masculine, okay, if they're in the mind, fiery emotions, they're here, they will cause us anxiety. If in the body, they will cause us something else. They will cause us anger. Okay? Fire in the body is anger. Water in the body is anxiety, is fear. Because remember, the body mirrors the mind. So this, right here, anxiety, is mirrored in the body by fear. So you can say that fear is physical anxiety. So every emotion you can say, is it masculine or is it feminine? Is it fire or is it water? Shame burns. We feel naked. Feel hot. Oh, I'm embarrassed, I'm red in my face, something happened. Okay? Anger is fiery. Irritation is fiery. And so the idea that it's all anxiety. Why? Why are you irritated? Why is someone irritated? Because they want something to happen and it's not happening. It's very concrete, very in the world. It's not happening fast enough. See how we relate back to the perception of time. Even anxiety relates to time, right? Because you're thinking into the future, something that will happen in a particular time frame. If somebody came and showed you a crystal ball and showed you, listen, this is convinced, crystal ball, it's not going to happen what you're worried that will happen. You're not going to have anxiety. And so every emotion is a manifestation of the mind or bubbles up from the body because your subconscious is telling you something based on memory that you've already experienced. For example, Diane is going away for a month and suddenly I miss her so much because there is this craving to be with my wife, but it's literally making me depressed. I get up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I can't function. Why? I'm an adult. My wife is gone, I can't function? I had quite a few years. Remember that I had that. Why? There's some kind of an emotion that bubbles from within, that is from the memory. Depression. Now, what is depression? Depression is anxiety so deep that you're freezing. It's cold. Okay? It's cold. It's when water stops moving, you can't do anything. So depression will be here, grief will be here. Okay? Hatred will be here. Do you hate yourself? Then it's inside, internal. If you hate somebody else, it's outside. Okay? Humor, fiery, but also watery. You can cry. You can have humor that is that's sad humor. But still, it's a spark. It's something. So everything is fire or water. Everything in the model of metaphysics is based on the metaphor. It's a whole different answer to a different question, but it relates to anxiety. Because the metaphor of fire and water is intrinsic to metaphysics. Why? Because fire, the mind is fiery. Okay? Here the mind is masculine, the mind will be fire. And the mind neurons are firing. We think using electricity, literally. And the body is watery. The body is 60% water. Okay? And water always goes down. Doesn't matter where you put water, it will go down. Fire, take a lighter, try to aim the flame lower. You can't, it goes up. But when we talk about the masculine versus feminine, then suddenly this is fire and this is water. Because fire and water are the metaphor for the feminine and masculine principles that are always competing with each other. Always. Now, who decides which one wins? Air. Breath. Okay? If there is more air, fire wins. If there's water, have no air in it whatsoever. And so air is the third energy, the unseen energy that exists everywhere that determines which one of the polarity wins. It's just like in the atom, where you have the electron, which is the feminine, and you have the proton, which is the masculine, positively charged, and then you have the neutron. And without the neutron, there is no electron. And it's the same thing with weather patterns, and it's the same thing with us. And that's why when you're really, really angry, what they tell you? Breathe. You know? Why are you breathing when you're angry? Because you're not thinking. If you breathe again, what happens with the fire that is so self-contained in an apartment? It gets so hot. You open, there is a release of energy. There is a release of heat to the air. If you breathe, you get more fire in the mind, you can think, suddenly you're not so angry, or you can think clearly, you're not so clouded. Okay? Anger is like you capture the fire in the body, and here there's only smoke. Okay? And the same thing with anxiety. Oh, what's going on? Breathe. Breathe into the body, not to the mind. Okay? Put some fire in the body. That's why if you want to do something and you're really scared, what do? Give me a shot of that. You're in a bar, suddenly you're Mr. I'm going to kick everybody's ass. Right? Fire. So, this is, by the way, one of the reasons that usually marijuana lovers are not drinkers, and usually people who are polarized to the feminine mind are more of an alcohol lovers. Because they're present. They don't like to be in the mind. Suddenly they're like, oh, I felt all floaty, I didn't like it. They like to be in the experience, in the body. If you're polarized to the feminine mind, you're in your body. You have to, because you experience reality. You experience the body. You experience either internally, very emotional, or externally, very sensitive to the environment, a busybody, always looking around. So anxiety is a very key emotion, because we all have anxiety, but most of us don't know that we have anxiety. And what do we have anxiety about? So starting to monitor the thoughts is the key to understand what we have anxiety about, and understand if our anxiety is always pointed outwards. We want other people to do something that they don't. So if you're polarized here, this is usually going to be your anxiety. Or it's abstract, which means you're worried about possibility, probability, permutation of things that will happen to you. You're either self-centered or self-ideologized, pretty much. So that's the idea. Does that help?